Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. It is Sunday. We got another beautiful Sunday episode for you lovely people. Man, we got an interesting thread. Got some juicy scenarios for you guys. And later today we'll be streaming. I am very excited. We have an action-packed day. You guys are probably most likely going to be hearing this this episode, on Monday, like you normally do when you're on your way to work, and either that or you're at work and you're bored and got nothing to do. You know? Hey, it be what it be. I'm the same way. I'll be listening to podcasts all day long at work because we all know work fucking sucks. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest here. And these podcasts, they help us get through the day. They really do. But without further ado, let's get on into our thread. Today's interesting thread is what's something you didn't realize was expensive until you became an adult. Man, do I miss the days where I didn't have to worry about how much shit cost because my parents would just buy it. You know, like I didn't care about how much things costed. I didn't care about like credit and all this other shit. And I'm telling you, man, woo, I would love to go back to those days. Won't lie to you, man. All right, let's get on into this thread. What's something you didn't realize was expensive until you became an adult? Nice rugs. And what a pain in the ass getting them cleaned after your pet vomits on it. Facts. I didn't know how expensive rugs were until I bought one myself. I was like, why in the fuck is this thing like $35, $40? Like, what the hell is going on? Some rugs I see are like $70. And I'm like, bruh, what? Why? Why are you that much? Why do you need to be that much? That's insane to me. And it's not like I'm getting a fancy rug. It's not like I'm getting a fuzzy rug or nothing like that. No, I'm just getting an ordinary ass rug. Even like welcome mats for your front door. For some odd reason, they're like $25 to $35. I'm like, yo, why? This should be like a $10 minimum thing. And a lot of people are like, oh, what? You think that's expensive? But it's like, bro, for a rug, that's expensive. Okay, come on, man. For a rug, that's fucking expensive, bro. What's something you didn't realize was expensive until you became an adult? Curtains. Somehow they cost more than furniture and still don't block all the light. Facts. Facts. Oh, my God. I used to have blackout curtains. And I was thinking like, oh, yeah, you know, these are going to work amazing because I work at night and I need to sleep during the day. And so I bought them. And it's like they worked when I first bought them. I was like, oh, it's amazing. But the more the sun beats on them, the more the sun, like, I guess, how would you say it? It takes the color, the black color away, and it like fades it out. And so as it fades that color out, then it starts to let light through, and it be pissing me off. I'm like, bruh. What the fuck? And so I just went back to using blinds. I was like, good old blinds, man. I was so mad because those blackout curtains were a little expensive. I won't lie to you. Those blackout curtains were like $80. And I was like, bruh. And don't get me wrong. It's not like I bought them and they didn't work. I bought them and they worked. But I bought them and then like 2.5 years later, they stopped working. And I'm like, bruh, I bought you to last forever. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. What's something you didn't realize was expensive until you became an adult? Pets. We love having dogs, but geez, when there's a health issue, say goodbye to at least $400. 2 issues just this week, plus annual shots, checkups, and monthly heartworm and flea tick prevention. And you have to buy them toys, food, stuff for them to go outside. Like, I've always said it, having a pet is having a child. Having a pet is having a child, because everything that you're going to do for a human baby, you're going to do for your animal. And a lot of things you have to, like food, healthcare, disciplining them, watching them, making sure they use the bathroom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, all these kind of things, it's like, that's what you're going to be doing with a human kid. I always say it, and I hate when people are just like, oh, no, that's just an animal. Oh, that's just a pet. And it's like, no, that's my child. It's my child. What do you mean? And, you know, like I fucking take care of that thing, because I think of people who have that outlook, they've never actually like looked after an animal. They probably have had pets, but they weren't the primary person looking after that pet. Because when you're a primary person looking after a pet, trust me, you're going to be like, yo, this is like taking care of a human child. I'm telling you. Oh my God. Yes. And they are extremely expensive. Extremely. What's something you didn't realize was expensive until you became an adult? Food for the whole family, especially eating out. Facts. Because it's one of those things where if you go out just to eat by yourself, you're already spending 10 to 15 bucks. So imagine you, your partner, and just one kid. That 10 to 15 bucks now is easily $30 to $45. And this is just fast food, mind you. This is just fast food. This doesn't even account for a restaurant. Like, you go to a restaurant, oh, you're dropping $100 minimum. And that's just you, your partner, and one kid. Imagine having 2 of them little motherfuckers or 3 of them motherfuckers. Bro. Woo, I don't know how y'all do it. But hey, man, that is facts. What's something you didn't realize was expensive until you became an adult? Windows. Holy crap. Even normal ones are hundreds of dollars each. Facts. My best friend, he bought a house a couple years ago, and they needed to change out the like glass open doors to the backyard, and literally just 2 glass doors, mind you, were $15,000. $15,000 for 2 glass doors. I was like, nigga, what? He was like, yeah, bro. He was like, it's because they come with like certain hinges, and then they have the seal, so because it's a door to the outside, so they have to have this seal on it so that way bugs can't get in and shit like that. And then they need one with a lock because they have kids. And so he was like, yeah, bro, $15,000. And then the fuck shit part is that they don't come assembled. You gotta assemble the door. I'm like, bruh, like we knew that we were gonna have to like assemble the door into the hinges and into the wall. We knew we were gonna have to do that. No problem. We didn't know that we were gonna have to install the glass, install the knobs, install the locks, like install the sealant around the door. I'm like, bruh. Not only he already paid 15 grand, but now we have to do the whole installation. We got to do all the work. Like, bruh, you could have knocked 5 grand off for the Lego assembly, if I'm being straight with you. But I'm telling you, yeah. And you know, obviously he's saying windows, but it was just the fact that like, he paid 5 grand just for the window inside the door alone, and then the wood and the ceiling and everything else would cost the other 10 grand. And I'm like, bro, this is insane, man. Absolutely insane. All right. What is something you didn't realize was expensive until you became an adult? Plants for my garden. They just appeared as a child, but no, mom and dad went shopping for all those little suckers. Yes, plants can get expensive. It's funny because we did a thread a while ago where it was like, ladies, what's a green flag? And actually not a while ago, but this was a long time ago. I'm sure you could find it in my channel somewhere. But we did a thread of like, ladies, what's a green flag like thing in a guy's apartment, and a lot of girls said like plants. They were like house plants. I guess because it's the like nature of being able to take care of something like living. And I looked into house plants because I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll look into house plants. You know, I might get one. Why not? Bruh. What I wanted was like pretty much like a pretty big little potted plant. And then I wanted one that was kind of tall because I just wanted one. And I had the perfect little spot picked out for it and everything. You know, I was probably going to name them eventually. And and so I went to the store. And I was like, oh, I like this one. It didn't have a price tag on it. So I went to the person and I was like, yo, I want to know how much that one is right there. And they were like, oh, yeah, no problem. Let me go ahead and just scan the barcode for you. Scan the barcode on the bottom. And they were like, oh, yeah, this is $228. And I'm like, 200 and what now? 200 and what now? What? The motherfucker keep... like, what is going on here, bro? Why does it cost so much? I was expecting maybe like 80, 90 bucks, you know, maybe 100. That was like 100 was like my max. I ain't gonna lie to you, but like anything that was 100, you get in. It's like yay tall. It's barely anything. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Why are potted plants so expensive? I'm like, I guess that's why women like them. They're like, damn, he's got exposable income for for potted plants. You know what I mean? Like, he must have money if he's got potted plants. I'm sorry. I don't got $230 to be spending on a fucking potted plant that's probably going to die because I neglect it. I ain't going to lie to I just wanted to see if I could do it. You know what I mean? I wanted to get one just to see if I could do it, to see if I could take care of it and water it and all that good stuff. But, bro, not for $230. That's crazy. Yeah, man, plants are expensive. What's something you didn't realize was expensive until you were an adult? Trendy supplements and fad diets can't eradicate SIBO and MBIOTA elemental can. Our medical nutrition resets your gut and restores your quality of life. Yeah, supplements are expensive. Supplements are very expensive. I take very minimal supplements in like my everyday thing. I just take vitamin D and creatine, and then in my protein powder I have like vitamin B and flax and fish oil. And so, but I mean, that stuff comes pre-mixed into my protein powder. So I just have to take the vitamin D and then the creatine separately. But I don't do all the extra, you know, BCAAs and all this and all. I don't do all that extra shit. I think a lot of that stuff is extremely extra and unnecessary, because it's just like, what you're paying for versus the effect on your body is extremely minimal when it comes to a lot of that stuff. And so I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm good. But yeah, supplements can get expensive. A lot of my coworkers do a lot of those like real expensive supplementations, and they do the pre-workouts and all that kind of stuff, and they're like, bro, yeah, I spent like $90 on pre-workout, and I spent like $80 on the BCAAs, and and I'm like, bro, that's crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong, creatine's expensive too. I probably, like, each little tub I probably spend close to, I would say $60 because it's not that big of a tub, but it does last me a good little while. But again, it's just like I buy that, and then the vitamin D, that one, I mean, that I actually have bought that only once, and it still lasted me because they're little tiny tablets and you take one a day, so it's not like too bad. I take vitamin D just because I don't see the sun really ever, if I'm being honest with you. So yeah, I got to get my vitamin D somewhere, you know what I mean? All right, let's get on to the next one. All right, what's something you didn't realize was expensive until you became an adult? When I was a kid, I told myself that when I was an adult, I'd have a whole room of my house dedicated to my Lego sets. At the time, I thought the expensive part of that was the Lego sets, not the extra room. Facts. Facts, bro. Because it's one of those things where, especially nowadays, when you're looking for a house and you're like, oh, that's a nice little 2-bedroom, and you see a 2-bedroom, and I'm being conservative with these numbers, you'll see it maybe like maybe, let's say 475, and then you're like, okay, and then you look at a 3-bedroom, instant like 750, and you're like, yo, why'd it go from like 400,000 to 700,000? Like, what the fuck is going on here? And and I know, like I said, in some areas, because my California people know this, but in some areas, that 400 number, you're like, bro, where are you finding a house for 400? But I'm just saying, it's like, that's the big jump that it is between having a 2-bedroom to a 3-bedroom, and you're just like, bruh, I don't know if I want that extra room at this point. Like, I might as well just allocate a little corner of workspace and do that. Because honestly, that's what I did. I was like, fuck it, man. You know what I mean? With my computer setup and all that kind of stuff, I just allocated it to a corner and was like, hey, that's where we're working out of, because, bruh, having an extra room is expensive. And shit is only going up, man. Woo! God damn. All right. What's something you didn't realize was expensive until you became an adult? Tires. I don't know why, but it always just stings when you have to drop $1,500 on tires. Ooh! Oh! And it was one of those things where, I guess you could say before becoming an adult, I didn't know that tires came in different sizes. I always thought tires were just kind of universal. You know what I mean? Like, one tire is good as the next. I didn't realize there were sizes of tires. And so, like, I knew there were sizes of wheels to where it's like, 18-inch, 19-inch, 20-inch, so on and so forth. I knew there was that. But I didn't know that tires had their very own size. They had thickness and then sidewall width and all that kind of stuff. I didn't know that. And so when I went to the tire shop my very first time to get tires, because one of my very first cars was a 1995 Toyota 4Runner. And that's a pretty big truck. I remember I got a flat, and I was like, son of a bitch. So, I went ahead and limped that bitch on over to the tire store, and I was like, yeah, I need to get another tire, need to get a replacement tire, so on and so forth. So we go in, I talk to the dude, we walk out, and he's just like, all right, yeah, he's scanning the tire to get like the size, dimension, all that good stuff. We go in there, that one tire was $400. And I was like, oh, that was how much? And he was like, $400 for one. He was like, yeah, for one. I'm like, oh, and then he was like, oh yeah, the other tires, the treads kind of going out on those. I would look to, replacing those. And I was like, I walked out of that bitch, man. I was like, bro, I just got the one tire. And I was like, bruh, that was the worst thing. I was not ready. I was not. And it was one of those things where it was the first time ever buying tires, so I didn't know what to expect. I thought tires were very universal, if I'm being honest with you. So I was like, oh, it shouldn't be that much. Nah, man. Nah. I was like, that is the last time I am owning a truck. Because, man, I inherited my mom's old car after that, and the tires on that car were significantly cheaper. It was like $100 each tire. And I was like, oh, Lordy, thank goodness. But it's funny because now that I have my Evo 10, that car's tires I'm right back to expensive. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Those, because, I like to get the all seasons, and those tires are pretty expensive. We're looking at like $500 to $600 a tire, and I'm like, son, it's terrible. Yeah, man. Hey, but you gotta have that grippiness. God, yeah, tires are definitely expensive. All right, what's something you didn't realize was expensive until you became an adult? Fresh produce. We always had fruits and veggies growing up, no matter the season. Now I sometimes struggle to justify the cost of a bag of apples or oranges given how quickly they are devoured. Facts. Let's just lump it into groceries in general, if I'm being honest with you. When I became an adult, if you will, and I started buying things for myself. Like when I got my first job, mind you, my first job was a grocery store job. And so I got my first paycheck and I was thinking to myself, oh yeah, I can buy whatever I want, and I was buying all kinds of dumb shit. When I first bought like actual groceries, I was like, how much does that cost? Because again, I didn't know. So I was throwing shit in the cart. I was like, ooh, that's good. Ooh, you know what? Mom always said no to that. Oh, you know what? I love those. You know what I mean? Had a cart full of shit. Came out to like $300-$400 and I'm like, huh? And so I was that person who was like, you know what? Maybe I don't need this. Maybe I don't need that. I was like, oh, hell no. I need to kind of pick and choose things, like now, obviously, now that I'm 30, I kind of realize like, okay, I know what to buy and what not to buy. And it's one of those things. And then it was difficult because once I lived with my ex-fiance, I was like now buying groceries for two people. And so it was like, okay, you got to kind of balance that. Like we got to stay within a budget, but at the same time, we got to get food that we both like. And that was tough because it was like, we're fighting budget with food that we want. And it was just like, get it. It's fine. We'll fit it in the budget somehow, or I'll just use my credit card. Oh, I'm telling you. Yeah, man. Yeah. Woo. Because even now that I'm single, it's like I try to stay within a budget, but sometimes, I go like a little over that budget and I'm like, it's fine. We're okay. Don't worry about it, So, yeah, man, groceries in general. But that's going to be the end of that thread. Hope you guys enjoyed that thread. Let me know what you found was expensive when you became an adult. I'm sure there's a lot more because I can think of a couple things, if I'm being honest with you, like laundry detergent and soap. That shit, for some reason, is so expensive. I'm like, why? For no reason. Internet. You know what I mean? I never knew internet was so expensive. It's one of those things where, like, when you're a kid, you know what I mean? You always have access to these things, and your parents pay for a lot of it. And then when you have to pay for it yourself, you're just like, oh my God, internet costs like $100-something a month. Damn, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's craziness, man. And then same thing with electricity. You're like, bruh, let's just say encompass bills in general. It's like, man, you be turning shit off and you be making sure stuff ain't dripping and running. And you're like, nah, man. You'll kind of look at it like, you know what? I'm good. I don't think I want to run the AC. I'll just run a fan or I'll open the window and suffer, because, boy, that should be getting expensive, man. It definitely gets very, very expensive. But, again, you guys let me know what you found expensive when you became an adult down in the comments. Without further ado, let's get on into the announcements for today's show, and then we will hop into our scenarios, all right, for you lovely, lovely people. So, patreon.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast. Get an exclusive episode every single Friday. So as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday show like these lovely people did for today. All right. $3 a month gets you over 100 hours of content over there, man. So it's a hell of a deal. I know back in the day, it wasn't really a deal. I know my OG fans out there, you know what I mean? It wasn't really that much of a deal, but now we have so much content over there. Honestly, the $3 is so worth it. So definitely get over there, support the channel. And yeah, so audio listeners, thank you guys for so much support. You guys have been awesome. You guys have been absolutely killing it day after day. And I really appreciate that, man. I really, really do. You guys have been absolutely killing it, downloading the episodes. Rate us 5 stars, helps out a lot. And all of that is free. You know what I mean? It's free. It's a clickable button, all that good stuff. All right. So, I also added playlists for Twisted Love. We did 2 streams for Twisted Love. We did the entire book. I did do it through a live stream. We have a YouTube playlist as well as a Spotify playlist, and those will be linked down in the description for you guys if you want to check out the live streams that we did for Twisted Love. Twisted Love was a really good book. I am super excited about that. And yeah, next week we're going to be getting into our newer book, so I'm excited about that. We'll be finishing up like the last 10 minutes or so of Hooked, and then we'll be getting into our brand new book, which I'm very excited for. All right, and then yes, follow us on Instagram as well as TikTok. Follow us on Instagram as well as TikTok, and subscribe to us on YouTube. All right, subscribe to us on YouTube. Hopefully, we're going to try to have 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I know we can do it. I know we can make it. Help your boy out by hitting the subscribe button. All that is free. Also, get a part of the Discord. Discord is linked down in the description. Discord is a notification center. Okay, so join the Discord. You just click the Discord link and it'll show up. You join the server, and what it is it is just a notification center that anytime we upload something, anytime that we go live on a live stream, it will notify you. It will have links, all that good stuff. So you go into the Discord or down in the description, find the Discord link, click that, accept the invite. Then you'll be into the notification center, go into the notification center, and then anytime that we upload anything, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on YouTube, you'll be notified. It'll have a link, so that way you can click the link and go straight to where the content is. Also, when we live stream, so there will be Twitch links, there will be Kick links, there will be YouTube links for the stream, as well as TikTok links for the stream as well. So everything in there is completely automated. I have Discord bots that go in there and do all that stuff for me, and it helps you guys know when we go live, when we do things, and all that good stuff. All right? So definitely get a part of the Discord. It is definitely linked down in the description. Without further ado, let's get on into our scenarios for today. All right. Our first one is, am I overreacting in my relationship with a guy 5 years younger than me because our habits are different? Okay. Let's see what's up. I, 28 female, started dating my current boyfriend, Dean, 22 male, in April of this year. I first met him in 2017 when he was 16. Whoa! Hold up, girl. Hold up, girl. Out here cradle snatching. Goddamn. I didn't even think of him that way, considering he's my cousin's best friend. I met Dean in passing when I went to visit my family in December of 2017 and saw him 3 to 4 times during my 2-week visit. From my cousin's perspective and from what Dean told me, he developed a crush on me then. He was like, oh, baby. Oh, she is 21 and righteous for you, boy. And he's like, bro, you're 16. He's like, I'm 21 from the waist down, baby. Ooh, goddamn. You know what I mean? All right. I never spoke to him after and forgot about him all those years. Damn. That sucks. Fast forward to 2024, I moved from my hometown to where I currently live, living with my maternal family and trying to improve my financial situation. I'm a university graduate with a bachelor's, but I've been unable to find a job that pays well. 2 months after I moved, I see Dean again. He came to visit for 2 days. He lives 2 hours away to see my cousin. Dean's 21 now, and I'm 27 at this point. His birthday was a month after I saw him. It was an instant infatuation for me. Yeah, because that motherfucker was probably taller. He was probably a little buffer. He probably had a little facial hair on him. And you were probably like, yum. Yum. I'm about that. My cousin could tell that it was the same for Dean, especially when he knew how Dean felt about me then. We didn't have any direct communication. They play together on Xbox, and I was unsure if I should feel anything toward him because of the age gap. Tried to deny my feelings for him because I'm 5 years older and insecure as all hell. When February of 2025 came along, we met in person again, a birthday event, and Dean stayed at my relative's house for 6 days. There was flirting and laughing between us, and sparks flew. I was still unsure about pursuing anything, but my cousin insisted. I know him well. We've been friends for years, and Dean's had a crush on you since he was 16. Yeah, they like he been trying to get up in them walls since he was 16, girl. Um, the day he had to leave to go back home, Dean admits his feeling. He admits he feels the same and wants to start talking to each other. We exchange numbers and talk for almost 2 months. He was consistent with texting, and when I asked my cousin would say, he does that to me too. Believe me, he likes you. He just likes talking face to face, but he cares. Oh, he wasn't consistent. Sorry. He wasn't consistent with texting. And then when she asked the cousin said, he does that with me too, but believe me, he likes you. He just likes talking face to face, but he cares. April comes around and Dean has an issue and moved nearby where I live. He's staying in the neighborhood and is job hunting. We started seeing each other almost every day and talked more often, slowly but surely trying to see where this goes. My cousin and aunt, who have known Dean since he was 14, asked him if he wants to pursue a relationship and what's stopping him. And he says he does and wants financial stability before asking me out officially. But I jumped the gun and asked him out instead. A few days before my birthday in April were official. He said the first, I love you. Damn. I mean, it makes sense though. Because most of the time I would be like, bro, y'all only been dating for like 2 months or whatever. You know, why you always saying I love you? But this man has liked him or liked her since he was 16. So my man he's been in love since he was fucking 16. So, you know what I mean? It's not surprising that he said that. He said the first I love you. We laugh and make jokes and talk a lot. Now, here comes my dilemma. A few weeks ago, Dean had to move out. It took him too long to find a job. And when he finally did, the person he was supposed to be paying rent to preferred he leave. He tried to tell them he would pay his rent when his paycheck came through, but it would take another week. Dean is dyslexic and had me run his finances and other info. The person insisted he had to go, and he had nowhere else to stay. So he decided to go back home with a relative. We decided to keep the relationship, and he's job hunting in his hometown, trying to get situated. Our texts have been minimal. I initiate them first, and although I want to make the phone calls, I feel like I am making all the effort. I want to make this work, but everyone is telling me it's a dead end. I love him. Too soon, I know. Nah, I don't think it's too soon for you guys to love each other because, for one, you guys have known each other since he was 16 and you were 21. So you guys have had at least 3 to 4 years of getting to know each other, being around each other, really talking to each other, developing a relationship. So honestly, saying I love you is not really too soon with you guys' situation. And with the age gap, and since everyone keeps reminding me I'm better off without him since he has no education, no financial means, and nothing else, I should cut my losses. The last text I sent was a sarcastic, "You're online on the console. When are we playing together?" And got zero response. He was online again about an hour ago and nothing. Even in the past, I would ask him why wouldn't text me as often as I did. Dean's response was, I prefer face-to-face conversation and texting is not my thing. I care about you and I love the time we spend together, but I'm in my head a lot of times, sometimes won't check my text. I've been told by others that I'm overly sensitive and dramatic and can admit to it. My question is, am I being over dramatic now? And should I cut the relationship or be patient and work it out? That is such a tough one because you guys have such a long-standing history. You know what I mean? Like you guys is what is it? Probably 4 or 5 years of history that you guys kind of have. And I understand why you guys would have such strong feelings for each other because not only is there history there, but you guys, I'm sure, get along very well when you guys are together. I mean, you were saying like that the last time that he was there for like that birthday event, you guys were keke and, you know, just having a merry old time. And so I can tell that you guys definitely get along. You guys are laughing, having a good time, doing all that fun stuff. And so with that, I think you guys really hit it off and have a good time. And I'm sure with that kind of connection, I'm sure that's hard to find. And I'm sure that's why you are holding on to something that a lot of other people feel is a dead end, because they kind of only see it for what it is. They see like, oh, it's a dead end relationship because, you know, he's not financially stable. He's not stable in general just because he keeps moving around a lot. He doesn't really text you and talk to you that much. He just doesn't have really much to offer you and stuff. And so my thing is you decided to get into the relationship knowing that he's not stable, and he's not financially put together, all that kind of stuff. Like, you got into the relationship knowing this. And since you got into the relationship knowing this, and you were like, you know, despite that, I want to be with him. I say you keep working it out, because he doesn't seem like the type of guy who is necessarily lazy and trying to just, you know, he's not like content where he's at. He doesn't look at it. Cause I mean, he even said it himself. He was just like, I want to be in a financially like at least decent position before I start dating her. Just so that way, like, I have a job, I have some sort of stability to offer her. But obviously you jumped the gun knowing that, hey, I don't give a fuck if you're not stable. Like, right now, I love you, want to be with you, needs that penis. So I say you stick it out just for the fact that you knew what you were getting into before this relationship. You're not necessarily complaining about his situation. I think everybody else is kind of getting in your head and making you think that. And trying to kind of get you to make a decision that they feel is right. But if I'm being honest with you, I think you feel that what's right for you is to stick this out. And so I say go with your gut feeling and stick it out and see where it goes. Because again, I don't think this Dean dude is a lazy guy by any means. I really don't think age comes into this, if I'm being real with you, because he seems like a very mature guy. From everything that you've given, it seems like he has the maturity of someone your age, while he's just not that age, you know, and that's just the way, you know, that's normal. It is what it is. And so I do, like I said, I personally think you should stick it out, just because, for one, you knew what you were getting yourself into before you got into it with him. Two, he doesn't seem like a lazy guy. He seems like he's not going to be in this instability situation for a while. And you just have to understand that. Like, when he's not texting you back, when he's not really you got to understand that, look, he's trying to find stability in his life. He's trying to find himself. Yeah, he's going to be on the video games and, you know, letting off some steam and stuff like that. Everybody does. Because obviously he can't be in go mode all the time. You know what I mean? And I know you understand, like, oh, in those times, like, I would love for him to text me. Like, if he's on the video game, like, at least he could text me back. And so I do understand that, but you are going to have to put in a lot of effort in this stage of the relationship, more effort than you feel that you're willing to put in. Because she said, oh, I feel like I'm the one putting the more effort in. And I think at this point in the relationship, you're going to have to. Just because of the situation that he's in, where he's like unstable, he doesn't really have, you know, stability and like financial stability. He just doesn't have that going on in his life, and he is seeking it. So again, he can't really put too much of his focus into the relationship as of right now. So it is going to have to be on you to kind of put in that little extra effort until he gets that stability, and then he can kind of bring that effort back in and kind of give you that. That's how I see this situation going. I hope you stick it out, because it seems like the relationship and the dynamic between you guys is electric, and you guys really love it, and you guys are happy. It's just this one little caveat, and I think it's a temporary caveat, if I'm being honest with you. I really do think it's a temporary little hiccup in you guys' relationship, to where if you give it, let's say, you know, 4 to 6 months, he'll have his stability. He'll have a good, steady job. He'll be living somewhere where he can pay, you know, the rent month to month. He'll be able to start saving money to go see you a lot more. He won't have as much stress on his shoulders, so he'll be able to text you a lot more and call you and talk to you, and then also communicate with him too and be like, hey, I understand your situation. I understand what you're going through. But can you at least, talk to me on the phone once a week? Can you at least, give me one day where we talk or we hang out, or, you know what I mean? And just try to come at it from a level of understanding, like, hey, I understand what you're doing and your situation, and I'm here for it. I support it. I love you. And I want to make this work. So just give me one day. Just give me one day, because if he's able to give you just that one day, then you're not going to feel neglected, because you're always going to be looking forward to that one day. You're always going to be like, oh, I can't wait for, let's say, Tuesday. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, I can't wait for Tuesday, because then I'll get to talk to him on the phone, or I'll get to hang out with him, or, we'll get to do something, whatever the case may be. You'll be excited for that. And so, like I said, I hope you stick it out. You guys let me know what you think about it in the comments, though. Should she stick it out? Should she dead this relationship? You guys let me know. All right? Before we get into the next one, I'm going to get a swig of Juicy Juice. Okay. Woo! Let's get on to the next one. Let's see. Okay. Am I the asshole for stealing my ex back? Okay. So me, D, and my ex, L, dated for 3 years. We have been a little off and on, but we became good friends and could keep it that way. 5 months ago, he got a girlfriend and told me that she would like it if me and him just didn't talk. I was okay with that given our past. Well, now 5 months later, I'm getting him back. His ex-girlfriend, now A, texted me about 2 weeks ago asking if I was L's ex, which I replied yes, and why. She said, oh, no reason. I said okay, and went on with my day. Then she texted me again later, just starting a conversation. Well, I talked with her and we became close, but something was off. Later, I rode the motorcycle to the DG down the road and saw L. I was flabbergasted, but ignored it. Then texted A that I saw him. She said, I know. He told me. I was like, oh, okay. Then she texted me that if me and him wanted, we could be friends. I told her, no, it's okay. He wanted to stop talking to me for you, and I'm okay with that. Then a few days later, he texted me, and I was like, hey, what's up? And he said that him and A have been fighting for a few weeks, and I asked what was wrong. Well, come to find out, she had been cheating on him with her ex, and said that he would probably do the same, and asked him who his favorite ex is, I guess, or favorite ex, in which he told me to get her mad, which yes is wrong, but we are teens. But come to find out, she had texted me and tried to befriend me, so when the truth came out, I would be on her side, which I was not. Now me and him talk on a daily and might even get back together. But 2 nights ago, she sent him a video of her high with her ex, and even said that they made out and did the dirty. Oh,
she belongs to the streets.
Oh, yesterday she begged him not to get with anyone else, especially not me, but I have him back. Am I the asshole? Yes, I'm aware of the bad grammar and writing. Sorry. Yeah, because girl, you are terrible. I was like, God damn, where is a period in this bitch? Are you the asshole for getting your ex back? No, just because the current girlfriend. All right, let's start from the beginning, though. The only reason why you guys were friends is because y'all were planning to get back together anyway. All right, let's just be honest here. Okay, you were planning to get back with him since the beginning. And I think the only thing that stopped you was the fact that he got a girlfriend. All right, let's put that elephant out in the room. So you wanted this man back in the beginning regardless. So, and then once homegirl got involved and all that kind of stuff, sure, you backed away, is what it is. And I think homegirl only did that to him because she was doing what she was doing with her ex. And I think it was a situation where Elle's girlfriend, she was like, oh, I'm with this dude, but he's still talking to his ex. So I feel like, they may be canoodling on the side. So I'm going to canoodle with my ex just in case him and his ex get back together. I got somebody to kind of go back to. You know what I mean? And I guarantee you that was the new girlfriend's kind of like thought process. And so once him and his ex stopped talking, she was like, oh shit, I'm kind of like too deep in with my ex. I can't just cut things off. So I'm going to just keep him in the back pocket. I'm going to be with this guy. And then I'm sure Elle was just like, bro, what the fuck? Why are you talking to your ex when you told me I couldn't talk to mine? Like, that's some bullshit. This is not. I guarantee you that's why they started fighting. And I guarantee you that's what pushed back to her ex a lot more. And so then homeboy was like, nah, man, I'm gonna give me some booty off my ex. And then when Elle went back, to D, she was just like, hey, shit, I've been wanting you back, since we broke up. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I'm being straight with you, like the fact that you guys have been on and off and you guys have this weird ass relationship, y'all shouldn't even be together, if I'm being straight with you. I think you're going to be in this on and off weird ass relationship, break up, take me back. You're going to be in this kind of relationship for a long time. I personally, like, if you guys want to get back together, get back together. But if you guys break up again, you should not talk to this dude like ever again. And you need to like move on and find somebody else, because I've seen this so many times where people will be in relationships and they will be friends with their ex. And friends, we all know that friends with an ex just means that you want to be together. You want to get back with that person. You just don't want to be dating them now. Like, one person just doesn't want to be like dating. They kind of want the dating perks without actually the title. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, when that happens and say you guys are, in this like limbo friendship and you guys get back together, it's a thing where now you guys have started this on and off cycle, and it's just going to be over and over and over again, because the person who initiated the breakup the first time, they're going to be like, I don't really care for this relationship if it goes good or it doesn't. And that's the dangerous part about it, is that if the relationship goes bad again and you guys just break up and it's like you guys just be friends, it's like, bro, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, what you're doing is you're kind of stuck in this vicious cycle, and you're holding yourself back from like your actual, the love of your life. You know what I mean? Because I've only been in like maybe 2 on and off relationships. And again, it is that cycle where you're just constantly like going in and out of this revolving relationship. And it's not good. It's just not good. And then when you finally leave them motherfuckers alone and you go find somebody else, you're like, oh, so this is what a steady relationship should look like. You know what I mean? But I get it. You guys are very young. You guys are thinking like, oh, I got all the time in the world, and oh, this is the love of my life, and there's no one else there. And, I have this marriage fantasy and everything. I get it 100%, because I was there too. I was in that position where, I thought I was going to marry this girl and she was the love of my life and all that kind of stuff until, we broke up, and then I finally dated someone else, and I was just like, oh, yeah, no, we're good. We're chilling. She wanted to be friends. Now I don't do the whole friends with ex thing. I don't do that. I think friends with exes, that just means you want to get back together, and I ain't about it. The same thing with like girls that I'm dating. I'm like, bro, if you're friends with your ex, done. I will ghost you right then and there. You know what I mean? We are done talking. Effective immediately. So again, like I said, personally, I understand you guys want to get back together. Get back together. Do your thing. Do what you want to do. But if you guys break up again, I would move on from this guy in this relationship and be with somebody else. Just move on completely, because it just, trust me, it's a revolving door of just going in and out of the relationship, and it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. But that's my 2 pennies. You guys let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. All right. Let's get on into the next one. All right. Ovulating at work is a dangerous game. Girl. She like, the coochie is wet at work, and I don't know why. Goddamn. All right. I just need to release this into the void. My boss has the most perfect bald head I've ever seen. What? Okay. Sure. Like, not just bald, divinely bald, smooth, shiny, shaped like it was sculpted by horny angels. Some days I want to slap it, other days I want to lick it. Hormones decide. What the fuck? Girl, you crazy. Anyway, last Thursday, during peak ovulation, I was sitting behind him and his bald head was right there. So I did what any mentally unstable woman would do. I reached out and touched it. Just a soft, light, lingering touch, like a blessing, like I was grounding myself to earth via contact. He turned around and I panicked and was like, oh, you had lint. He just nodded and said, thanks. That was it. But I went home and thought about that bald head all weekend, like feral levels of overthinking. I don't even like him like that, but that dome totally owns me. Anyway, I haven't touched it again, but the urge is strong and I am weak. What the fuck is... This girl is crazy. She is just like, yo, I want to put this man's bald head in my mouth. I need it. The coochie is just telling me that I need this. Oh, that's crazy. I guarantee you, like, if they smash, she would be able to nut just by staring at his bald head. You know what I mean? That's crazy. That is some crazy shit. Hey, you know, hey, sometimes you gotta just give in. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta just give in. You gotta just let it go, and I personally think that you're denying yourself. You think that you don't like him, but I think you may do. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. What do you think? Because I think that you kind of, because of the bald head and because the way it makes you feel. And the downstairs parts, you know what I mean? I get it. It's like, oh no, it's because of ovulation, but I'm thinking a little more adds on to that. You know what I mean? If I'm being straight with you, I think the ovulation just kind of, like, I guess, heightens what you're already feeling. You know what I mean? So I think you're denying yourself the feelings of this guy, and I think you like him. I think you look at the bald head and you're like, damn. And then you start looking at other parts of him, and I'm sure you're like, not bad. I could let that be on top of me. But yeah, I think you got a little crush on him. You little cheeky girl. Goddamn. Hey man, ovulation's a dangerous game. Let me know what you think about that one in the comments. This is going to be our last one for today's Sunday episode. If you got this far in the episode, thank you so much. Love you and appreciate you. Again, patreon.com/AmITheAsshole Podcast. $3 a month gets you an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday show like these people did for today. Get on in there. Definitely click on the Discord link down in the description. Get notified of whenever we go live, as well as upload content. And it's cool because actually some of the content you can watch in Discord. Literally, the video will play in Discord, which is kind of cool. Or there's a link, and it'll take you to YouTube, or it'll take you, to wherever. But yeah, get on in the Discord, man. Check that out. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as YouTube. All that good stuff. And let's get into our last scenario. All right. Boyfriend said, I'm too loose. 18 female, 18 male. All right, so I, 18 female, and my boyfriend, 18 male, have been together a few months, and we just had sex for the first time. Mind you, both of us are virgins. Never been with anyone before. He finished twice after we had sex. He finished, and he wouldn't stop talking, talking the next few days about doing it again. We went out today and had so much fun, and we were laughing the entire time. He was all over me, kissing me like normal. Then later in the night, he texted me and said he didn't want to have sex again because he didn't feel anything, and I was too loose. I understand why he switched up, and I'm scared this is the end. Does anyone have any advice on the situation or know what could have caused this reaction from him? All right. Don't listen to this dude. He don't know nothing. And I guarantee you guys are most likely having sex with condoms. And from what I have deduced when it comes to condoms is that inside the pack, not all of them are the same. And I'll explain to you what that means. All right. You buy a box, let's say, of Trojan condoms, right? And it says bearskin. You know, and you're thinking, oh, yeah, it's going to be nice and thin. I can feel the coochie contracting and doing all the good stuff and all that. All right. Sometimes when you put it on, you get that good one and you're up in them walls going to work and it's like, oh, baby, and you nut and you fill the condom up and it's great. Then you get into doing it again and you put that next one on and it's not quite the same. It's thin, but it's not as thin as that other one. You know, the other one, it had the feeling in there. It was like, oh, baby Jesus, it felt amazing. But this one, not so much. And you're like, huh. You know, and so it may have been a thing where he was just up in the walls and the condom just wasn't allowing him to feel things. It was your first time too, so a lot of girls don't realize, like, yo, when your dude is up in there, you know what I mean, you kind of gotta clench those coochie muscles, clench it down on the penis, and it feels good for both of us. You know what I mean? It creates that good little friction. A lot of girls who are, you know, let's say virgins or sexually inexperienced, a lot of times they don't know that. You know, they don't know, like, yeah, you know, while you're having sex and I'm up in them walls, contract with it. You know what I mean? You contract with the motions. So when I'm going in, you contract. And when I'm going out, you release. When I'm going in, you contract. And when I'm going out, you release. You know, it's that song and dance a little bit. You know what I mean? And then also, you know, talk to some of your lady friends who are a little more experienced. You know what I mean? You could talk to, you know, them and they'll probably give you some pointers on why that is happening too. But a lot of times, you know, like I said, for me, I know these things only because I had to do this with my ex-fiance. She was a virgin, you know what I mean? I was her first dude. And so, you know, I had to kind of give her little pointers and little things here and there, like, hey, you know, like do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, we had books and all kinds of stuff because she was a bit of a bookworm, and that's kind of how she learned, and she was just good at that. And so I was like, I got you, you know what I mean? And we pulled up some educational shit for her, and she was like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? She didn't know, and I'm like, it's all good. Sometimes, you know, that it's why women enjoy a little more of an experienced partner, just because they're able to kind of give them the little tips and tricks. But since you have an inexperienced partner and you're inexperienced yourself, obviously he's not going to know. You know, he just thinks like, oh yeah, it's just tight up in that bitch. You know what I mean? But it's like, nah, not necessarily, because when like a woman is aroused, her pelvic floor drops, just so that way there's more room for the guy to kind of go up in there. And so once the dude is up in there, then obviously, you know, the girl clenches the coochie muscle a little bit and it kind of contracts on it a little bit. And I think you weren't doing that. And so I think that's why he kind of was just like, damn, I can't really feel, you know, the walls, like what's going on. So yeah, man. And then we went to like sex therapist doctors and stuff. There are sex therapist doctors, and they'll kind of talk to you about like your sex life and how you can like enhance it and how you can do things. Cause she was having trouble getting the big O. And so we went to that therapist doctor, and they were like, yeah, you could try this. You could do that. You could do these things, introduce toys, all that kind of stuff. So, you know what I mean? I learned a lot from sex therapist doctor, and I didn't know that even existed. Like you go to an actual hospital to talk to a sex therapist doctor. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. And so, like I said, a lot of this stuff is on the internet too. You know what I mean? You just look it up and look up educational shit. Don't look up porn. Look up educational shit. All right. But yeah, man, get up in there, learn some stuff. And I guarantee you, once you kind of learn the little clinch rhythm and all that good stuff, and you figure out your body as well, and what you like and what he likes and stuff. Because I've always said it, your first time having sex, it's going to be trash. It's always going to be trash. I don't think there's anybody. I mean, there may be like a small portion of people who they're like their first time having sex was just magical and it was amazing. But for a majority of people, for the 98% of us, let's be honest, it is 98%. The 98% of us, first time is going to be trash. First time you're going to be like, damn, that was sex. Okay. But the more you do it with your partner, the more you figure out what you and your partner like and don't like and all that kind of stuff, then it's going to get better. It's going to get better. But you gotta weed through the trash first. You know what I mean? Because you're going to be trying a lot of different things, and some stuff ain't going to feel good. Some stuff's going to feel really good. Some stuff's going to feel good, but it's uncomfortable good, and then some stuff it's like uncomfortable, not good. And you're like, whoa, no. So again, you're going to figure it out with your partner. And the more you guys do that, the more you guys are like open to just educational shit. Because I'm telling you, don't learn from porn. It's just not gonna work out. All right, it's not gonna teach you the way you think it's gonna teach you. No, just don't. Do the educational shit. Look at that. You know what I mean? All right. But that's going to go and be today's episode, man. I hope you guys enjoyed today's Sunday episode. Thank you guys for being here. Love you guys so much. We're going to be streaming today on Sunday, and then we'll have a gaming stream tomorrow. I have actually a really fun game planned for Monday's stream. So if you guys are listening to this on Monday, definitely tap into the stream, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So convert that wherever you are. We're going to be playing a game on Monday. It's going to be a little fun gaming stream. And then today we're going to be doing Satan's Affair. Satan's Affair is a spin-off novel to Haunting Adeline. It follows Sibby, I think that's her name, Sibby's story. She was the crazy chick that fucked her bodyguards. Her bodyguards were imaginary, but she would have like sex with them or whatever the case may be, and she would walk around naked and all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? She's like the definition of like putting your dick in crazy, and so it follows a little bit of her story and stuff like that. And so I'm excited. I'm excited for today's stream. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But without further ado, love you guys all. I will see you either on stream either today or tomorrow. And if I don't see you on stream, I'll see you on Tuesday for another crazy episode. Love you guys all, and peace.